Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Today we'll start a chapter in English literature, and the name of the chapter is The Turning Point. What do you mean by the phrase the turning point? Children, a turning point is a specific, significant moment when something begins to change. Some experiences may even change the direction of our lives. Such experiences can be referred to as turning points. It can change our lives in a positive or a negative way. This story is all about a boy who tells us about the turning point in his life. Children, this boy needs no description. He's a famous and renowned personality. He's also known as the Missile Man of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Let me narrate the story to you all. It was the science period, and the teacher, Sri Siva Subramaniam Iyer, was teaching them about the principles of flight. He lectured on things such as lift, drag, and how birds fly in formations of 10, 20, or 30. At the end of the class, when the teacher asked all his students about the clarity of the topic, whether they were thorough with the concepts or not, many students, including Dr. Kalam, said that they could not understand the topic. Their teacher, without getting upset, said that he would take all of them to the seashore. That evening, the whole class was on the beach. Sri Siva Subramania Iyer drew his students' attention to the seagulls flying in formation. There were about 20 of them. It was a marvelous formation of birds with a purpose, and they were all amazed as they began to recall what they had heard that morning. The teacher then asked them, "Look at the birds' wings, how they flapped to generate lift." He asked them to look at the tail and the combination of flapping wings and twisting tails. Then the students looked closely and found that the birds in that position could fly in the direction they wanted to. Then he asked each one of them a question. "Can you all tell me where the bird's engine is and how is it powered?" Then students answered to that question. All the aspects of the principles of flight became clear to them within the next 15 minutes. They understood clearly the dynamics of a bird's flight with the practical example of it in front of their eyes. For him, this incident was not merely an understanding of how a bird flies. Students on the seashore of Rameshwaram that evening, Dr. Kalam decided that he wanted to study all he could about the concept of flight. At that time, he did not realize that eventually he would move towards the study of the science of flying. It was his teacher's lesson and the flight he had witnessed inspired him to move towards his goal. Then one evening after his class, he asked Mr. Iyer. He told him of his interest in further studying the science of flight. Mr. Iyer patiently explained that he should complete class 8, go to high school, and from there to college and take up the study of the sciences. This advice and the lesson of the flight of birds really gave him his mission for life. This was the turning point in his life, children. So when he went to college, he took up physics and then went on to study engineering at the Madras Institute of Technology. There he took up aeronautical engineering. His life was transformed. He became a rocket engineer, an aerospace engineer, and a technologist. All this had proved a turning point in his life. Sri Siva Subramaniam Iyer was the catalyst who ignited their young minds by allowing them to ask questions and then answering them till they achieved complete understanding. Students, that's why we teachers keep telling you to clarify your doubts, your problems, never keep them to yourself. Complete understanding of any topic is really important. I hope the chapter is clear to all. So, this chapter tells us that experiential learning should be an important part of our life so that we can experience the things learned in the class with the real world life situations, isn't it? Thank you, students. That's all for today's session. And if you have any doubts related to the story, please do ask me during the live session. That's all for today's session. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.